This is my very last power play behavior for you. So hopefully you have noticed some changes with the things that you've been doing, and I'm always sharing new information, so please don't stop visiting the website, and you'll continue to get emails that will give you some ongoing suggestions as time goes by. But if you seriously made a commitment and you have attacked these behaviors with consistency and persistence, I know that you're on the right track with your relationship. And I have over on my website a self-coaching package that is all of the chapters of my book in PDF form, as well as audios and worksheets for you to implement lots of other relationship positive behaviors. So if you need some more help, I encourage you to go and check that out. It's really affordable, and I'd love to see how you do working through that. But for now, we're going to talk about the lover's embrace. Now, this can be a tricky one if you're playing by yourself, because you're going to have to orchestrate a little bit of physical connection with your partner to do this. But I have faith in you, you can do it. The lover's embrace is actually a way of holding each other that contributes to the feeling of closeness and nurturing and actually soothing your partner. When I have couples in my office, I kind of assign them a position in the hold depending on what it is that they need to most develop within themselves. So typically there's a person who is the holder and a person who is the holdee. And the person who is the holder is in the position of being a nurturer. And sometimes there are people in relationships who need to practice being more nurturing. And sometimes there's people in relationships that need to practice being nurtured. The best case scenario is that each of the partners takes a turn in each of the positions. But if you can't finagle that because your partner's not on board, then just try to orchestrate the hold on your own, whichever way you can. I'm going to demonstrate the hold for you, but first of all, let me tell you, when I have couples in my office, I make them actually assume this position on my couch or love seat that I have there, and it's kind of awkward, and they always just have a fit laughing about it, and they think that they're going to feel so ridiculous when they do this. But the couples that actually go and do it find that it really enhances their closeness and their communication. So I want you to keep that in mind when you think about this exercise, and don't just blow it off because you think that it's silly. I always say, what's your relationship worth? Is it worth you looking a little silly or feeling a little silly sometimes? I think that it probably is. So this is how the lover's embrace goes. This is my partner. I don't know what his name is. This is my daughter's stuffed animal, but I figured this would be helpful. So a lover's embrace is like this. One person's going to be sitting up, and then the partner is going to lay chest to chest, heart to heart with their partner, and the partner is going to hold them in a nurturing embrace. They're going to be face to face, heart to heart, and the person who's holding is going to be in the nurturing position. While you're in this position, it's really great to ask some of the open-ended questions or the statements that I have in the worksheet that's going to be down below. These are really good conversation starters, and they allow you to get to know your partner at a deeper level than you have in the past. A lot of times when we've been together for a while, we assume that we know our partner, we know them inside and out, we know how they're going to respond and react to everything. And I guess, if we can write the whole story of our relationship by ourselves, then we don't really need our partner, do we? So we have to remain open that our partner's changing all the time just like we are, and get to know them on an ongoing basis. And so you can ask those open-ended questions. And so the holder might ask the partner, what's your favorite holiday memory as a child? And then the partner would answer, and the holder would listen only, no commentary or no judgments about the answer, and just allow the partner to talk for, and I usually say 5 minutes. So 5 minutes of just uncensored response to that prompt, and the partner who's holding just listens and maybe says something encouraging like, oh, tell me more. Then, if your partner's playing along with you, you can change positions, and the person who was holding is now going to be the holdee, and vice versa. And you can ask the same open-ended question and let your partner respond in their own way too. Now, if the lover's embrace is too awkward, you might just do the open-ended questions. You could ask your partner to participate in that with you, and a lot of times that can spark some conversation and get you guys talking about things that are non-threatening, and they just allow you to be open and disclose things to each other. And that is a great way to grow emotional intimacy in a relationship. The other thing about the lover's embrace is it makes you the physical intimacy contributes to a feeling of closeness. And it's really difficult to be hurtful to each other when you're in that close proximity. So it can kind of just diffuse some of the tension if a couple is feeling that in the other areas of their relationship. So again, with this exercise, sometimes I get some pushback from people and say, well, I don't like hugging or cuddling and things like that. And I always say, you need to take a step and go out of your comfort zone with this. Unless you have some kind of history of physical trauma or sexual trauma that is creating a barrier in your relationship, you really need to be working on building emotional and physical intimacy with your partner. If you've had a history of trauma, again, I encourage you to get some work on that, because that is a big barrier to closeness within your relationship. I want you to have the happiest and healthiest relationship that you can. So let's get healthy ourselves. So the lover's embrace and the open-ended questions. I usually encourage my couples to do this once a day. It takes about 10 minutes. 5 minutes of one person being the holder, and then switch positions and let the other partner be the holder for 5 minutes. So 10 minutes is not too much to ask you on a daily basis of time to put into building your relationship. It is going to cost you a zillion times that. Probably not a zillion, but I do exaggerate sometimes. It's going to cost you a whole lot more if you end up splitting in this relationship. A divorce attorney or just separating your finances and households and things like that is going to cost you a ton of money. 10 minutes is not too much time to stave all that off. All right, so this brings us to the end of our series of what I call power plays. And these are the winning behaviors that I know can make some positive impact in your relationship. I'm telling you, I've got a whole lot more tricks, and I'd love to share all of them with you. I want to hear about your successes, and I want to help you around any problems that you've run into with any of these techniques. But remember, consistency and persistence is the key. When things are going great, remember the things that you're doing that are causing that, and those are the things that you need to return to over and over again. I often say it's kind of like a flywheel. It's one of those things that you have to get spinning. It takes a lot of effort in the beginning, but once you get it going, all you have to do is just keep putting minimal effort into it, and it keeps on spinning around. And that's what you want your relationship to feel like. You want it to feel like it's moving right along. It's not taking much effort, and it's a whole lot of fun. So remember, I'm going to help you create a relationship you love. Come over to the website, winningyourrelationshipgame.com. I've got the self-coaching program there, and I've also got a membership that will get you access to forums and one-on-one attention from me. We can do some coaching together there. Thanks, and I want you to have a great day.